Welcome to alphacenturian. This is part one of a 4-part video essay on the deconstruction of Bart Ehram. Part 1. Background. Bart Ehram is a professor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He studied and earned degrees at Moody Bible Institute, Wheaton College, and Princeton. Ehrman is an expert on the New Testament text, early Christianity, biblical languages, and biblical textual criticism. He has written numerous works of both scholarly academic quality and lay commercial trade. Ehrman was raised as an Anglican, was a member of an Episcopal church, and at some point he became a born-again Christian evangelical. During those parts of his journey of faith, he was a zealous literalist who believed in the inerrancy, primacy, and infallibleness of the Christian Protestant Bible. However, through his studies in his deconstruction journey, through the biblical manuscripts, he became convinced that there are contradictions and discrepancies that he could not reconcile, nor that he thought could be hermeneutically explained away in a method that would be intellectually satisfying for himself. The existence and presence of scribal error, both intentional and accidental, both incidental and substantial, became too much for him. And although he loosely associated with either liberal Christianity or a type of liberal theology for 15 more years, eventually the problems of evil and suffering led him to become an agnostic. I can't remember when I first became aware of Bart Ehram, but it was around the same time I started becoming familiar with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I heard both men through internet radio and Coast to Coast AM, back when those were a thing. I listened when pseudo-intellectuals referenced his name when speaking on biblical topics. I was also aware of him from his mentions on the History Channel, the National Geographic Channel, and the Discovery Channel. I was aware from these mentions that he was a credentialed and respected scholar, and I may have heard his name mentioned on Politically Incorrect or Dennis Miller Live, just to show you how old I am. Regardless, I rediscovered him recently through his debates, which are on YouTube, as William Lane Craig, Mike Licona, James White, and Michael L. Brown are people whose debate circuits I follow enthusiastically. Recently, I listened to his Great Courses lectures. After the New Testament, Lost Christianities, the History of the Bible, and the New Testament, I found his courses easy to understand, a bit on the lay side, and very entertaining. But as for the red meat, I found very little of what he said to be controversial. While surely some of his views on Jesus are either heretical or verged on blasphemy, little of it was new or outside the bounds of scholarly consensus. And as the focus of his course was textual development and scribal contribution, most, if not all, of what he put forward was the same information I would read in almost any Catholic study Bible. For example, according to the Catholic Study Bible 3rd edition, New American Bible Revised edition by Oxford Press, the hands of many copyists with different personal interest and levels of skill inevitably introduced variations and errors into the numerous editions of the biblical text. As a Catholic whom is familiar with biblical development, there was little to disagree with, let alone be shocked by or have my faith shaken by. Catholic English-speaking world, only those who use the Ignatius Study Bible would take issue with the majority opinions expressed by Bart. But outside the Catholic world, though still in the Christian sphere, I can see where people would take grave issue with what Ehrman expresses and teaches. Here are 3 things I found great about his work. Dr. Ehrman chooses his wording carefully and builds up to his argument methodically. Dr. Ehrman stands against mythicism and goes with historical and academic consensus, as he is coming from a critical and learned approach. A third thing I appreciated about his lectures is that Dr. Ehrman used not only biblical sources, but also extra-biblical and non-biblical sources to prove his points, even referencing pseudepigrapha and apocryphal works without discounting their value to the historical record. But there are several things I did not appreciate about his lectures that made me feel that his approach and opinions lack some nuance and wisdom. For instance, Bart lets his own personal doubts and religious bias, his former Protestant beliefs, color his professional opinion. Bart doesn't trust tradition or custom as an authoritative or guiding force. Bart is limited to probability and plausibility in his approach, sometimes willfully or knowingly ignoring what he is sure really happened in favor of what most likely would have happened given his current presuppositions. So that is the background on Bart Ehrman for this deconstruction series. Next will come the causes and confusion, the causes of his confusion when it comes to his teachings. Hope you're enjoying this series. This is part 1. I will be switching mics just to try different mics out. Hopefully one of these have a sound quality that you all appreciate. Let me know which video you like the best when it comes to sound quality. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Again, this is Alpha Centurion. Have a great day.